And now, words of wisdom with Adam Carriker.
Rule number 76. No excuses. Play like a champion. Vince Vaughn, Wedding Crashers.
And on that note, we welcome you to another edition of Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. That's Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Howdy.
Former wrestling announcer and weight loss champion Chuck Carroll here. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fourth and Pain and like us on Facebook. And my goodness gracious, Adam, what a week it was, my man. It got a little bit hairy there for a hot minute. A little bit hairy.
Are you
Not
making
gonna
fun
lie.
of my face?
Well, just a skosh.
Okay.
You are about due for a shave. I can't lie to you about
It's been
that.
about 2 weeks.
You
Got a
need-
little lazy.
You need to go see the Korean barber again. But
He made me look good last time.
he was a fan of the goatee, man.
He didn't speak English, but he made me look good.
Well, you know what? He knows what he likes, and he likes you, and he likes that goatee.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's
Just
as
got a
far as
little
we're
weird.
going to take that. So, speaking of weird, let me tell you a little tale. Last Monday, I believe it was, I am sitting in these fine, glorious WJFK 1067 The Fan Studios.
I think I know this tale.
I am, writing an article, as I often do during the week for CBSDC.com and 1067thefandc.com. And a tweet comes across my tweet deck, and it says, Redskins highly likely to release Adam Carriker and Santana Moss. Now, I'm not going to name this highly credible source that put this out there, but he is a high-profile guy on a high-profile network, and I'm not going to name his name, but Adam, when that tweet came across, my heart sank, and I was wondering what in the hell changed between that time and the last time we spoke.
Well, it's interesting because the Redskins had called, and they were like, we're up against the cap. We need some help here. Would you be willing to restructure your contract? And I said, yeah, that's fine. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can figure out. So we're in the middle of doing this, and I get a text from you. And you're a little I don't know, rainbowish, shall we say? But anyways, I get this text and it says, "I love you, brother." And I'm like, all right, I'm glad, and I agree. I like you as well. Why would that randomly come just out of nowhere? And so I don't really pay much attention to it. Then boom, all these unknown numbers start calling me and texting me and blah 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 blah. And then I find out that he had reported that I was going to be cut, and that's hence your rainbow text, shall we call it? But anyways, multicolored, fruity. Anyways, so I'm just kidding. Much love. I said much love. Anyways. So we figure out what we want to do, and we get all the cap thing figured out, and we restructure the contract, and we're able to help out the team there. But there was never – it's funny because people ask me, were you worried? Were you concerned? No, because I knew what was going on. I heard all the rumors for a couple of weeks, and I heard what people were saying. But also, I actually know what was happening, and I knew what the plan was. So I was never really worried, never really concerned. I was very intrigued by this tweet from this normally a very credible source that was nowhere near being true. So that was interesting to me. Maybe that was somewhat of a ploy, maybe somewhat of a hint from certain people trying to get myself and Santana to do certain things. I don't know. Maybe it was just incorrect reporting.
Well, all I know is that when that tweet came across, I was sitting there and people were offering me condolences as if my father had died, God forbid. But it was unbelievable. They were like, "Oh, Chuck, I'm so sorry, man. I don't know what I can say. Is there anything I can do? Anything I can get you?"
When is the funeral?
Yeah, where do I send the flowers? What was his favorite charity? I mean, what's
Charity for tall people.
So it really was. It was like a little mini funeral, and then I didn't hear back from you for a good 20 minutes after that. Now, come to find out, you were talking with the team during that time, and God bless you for calling me right back as soon as you were done with that. And you were just like, insert name here is an idiot, and then proceeded to tell me that you had restructured.
I was like, that tweet is incorrect. The reporting is false, not right, and the opposite of what was true. But, the guy's just trying to do his job. But anyways, no, we were able to figure out the contract. We were able to restructure. We were able to help him get under the cap space. As we sit here and talk right now, we're under the cap, not by a whole lot, but we made it. And I'm glad I was able to help. Santana did the same. Brandon Merriweather restructured as well.
And proud to say, last bit before we ask a few other Redskins related questions, proud to say that when you allowed me to break that restructuring news, I got more retweets and more followers in that one little tweet than I ever had before. And the credible beat writers, I shall say, your John Kimes, your Mike Jones at the Washington Post, Grant
Mike
Paulson.
Jones.
They all retweeted me, and Kime put up his wrestling show partner and then retweeted it. And that was like validation. That's who at the Chuck Carroll is. I am his wrestling show partner. And I couldn't have been more proud.
You could be my manager someday.
Dude.
I come out as part of Aces and Eights. You could be my manager.
You go into the squared circle, you better believe it. Because I got that Paul Bearer type voice down. I can bring that right back. Yes!
Oh, boy.
Yes!
That is very impressive.
I know, right?
I like it.
Hidden talents. This is Fourth and Pain, bright and early on a Sunday morning here, 106.7 The Fan. And Adam, question for you, speaking of cap space. How in the world is it that the Washington Redskins are going to be able to get better this year, given those cap restrictions?
Here's what's impressive to me about what the team was able to do last year. I got hurt. Rack got hurt. Merriweather played in one game, and in that game he either had 1 or 2 interceptions, had a big impact. Jack, the other safety, got suspended before the season. There's 4 out of 11. There's over a third of your starting defense gone. And injuries is part of the NFL. I get that. But over a third of your starting defense gone, that's tough to deal with. You have guys that you're bringing in off the streets, and a couple, 3 weeks later, they're out there playing or starting with your team. That's not ideal. That's not what you want. And then you have guys like Fred Davis go down. You have Pierre Garçon, who misses 8 or 9 games. And what they were able to do, winning 7 in a row with all of us missing, is very impressive. So we don't have a lot of cap space. There's not going to be a whole lot of new faces. What there's going to be is a healthy Pierre. Hopefully we're able to sign Fred back, get a healthy Fred, myself, Rack, Merriweather, and Jack back. And then who knows what we do in the draft. We still have, most of our picks as well. So we have all these guys who were hurt last year. It's like we're going to have a bunch of new guys on our team because they weren't able to contribute. And to me, the team, there's no reason the team shouldn't be as good or better and go deeper in the playoffs than they did last year.
And you know what stands out to me? It's guys such as yourself and Santana Moss, the second half of that tweet from nameless person that turned out to be incorrect. Neither one of you get released. You both restructure. And then the guy you just mentioned, Brandon Merriweather, also does the same. And so that tells me that this is a core group of players that is committed to becoming better, committed to being a team, which is rare in the NFL. It is something that you are not seeing up in Baltimore right now, where it is mass exodus. Down here in DC, there's that sense of camaraderie. And frankly, I think the continuity is the only way to improve in this game. You can never get better if there's constant change. And so there will be a lot of familiar faces at Redskins Park next season. And I think that can only bode well for you and your teammates.